as we look at the year in retrospect and consider the prospects of 2020, I wish to remind you all that the GIPC CEO's breakfast meeting series is a flagship vehicle for effective engagement between government and the private sector. These meetings are held under the Chatham House rule to encourage frank discussion and engagement between past presidents. I therefore encourage us all to have open and objective deliberations, which will go a long way to influence policy formulation and contribute to our nation's development, and most importantly, to the growth and sustenance of the investment.
Now, sentiment says a lot about a country, and the same goes for business. So, no matter where investors direct their projects, the question that comes to mind is often whether or not entrepreneurs and business leaders feel confident to invest and to take a considered risk. And these are the kind of questions that the OBGCO survey is also here to answer. Now, according to our various interactions with especially those companies that do a lot of importing and exporting, the measure has been well received and properly implemented, reducing the turnaround times for cargo and also improving ease of doing business. The more recent investments that have gone into expanding capacity at both of these ports also bode well for the future of the country, especially with the recent ratification of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The deal, which forms the world's largest free trade area, brings with it the promise to boost regional trade levels by 50% within 5 years of its implementation. So this is undoubtedly one of the reasons that explains the enthusiasm that you can see here among Ghana's business community, with 73% saying they were very positive or positive about the outcome of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area on regional trade levels. There is still a pressing need to address the infrastructure gap in order for the agreement to reach its full potential.
But setting up a factory probably take a minimum a year or two to actually build a factory, another year or two to probably start working. So minimum 2 to 3 years before you start generating any cash flow. And you want to start such a project with a loan. And looking at, we just mentioned high interest rates in the economy, talking of about 35 to 40%. So if you start, let's say you take a 10 million loan to start a project, by 2-3 years before you start generating income, that money probably might have doubled before you even start repayment. So you are setting up those companies to fail. You are starting with a loan of 10 million. By the time you start producing, probably that amount is about 20 million. How are you going to generate enough cash flow to actually pay those kind of loans? And so I believe venture capital should actually be involved in the financing aspect of it, because as I initially said, we provide equity, and equity is patient capital. So it gives you enough time to actually set up the business. So when it starts even producing, and there is a need for additional capital, then we can refer them to the banks. And so venture capital for me should be where we say should be strengthening so that we can handle the initial capital requirements of the 1E, 1F.
Apart from the corporate insolvency bill, which is clear cut to enable access to finance, in terms of legislation that is coming up, I wouldn't put my finger on any. But I think that there are other ways in terms of policy, in terms of strategy, to encourage access to finance. The World Bank launched a report just this week on economic diversification. And upon doing their research, they realized that Ghana, in comparison to other low-income countries, had fairly high nominal lending rates. And that doesn't actually instill confidence in lenders, because if you go to the bank and you're faced with this, then clearly that's a huge stumbling block that perhaps we have to look at when we're looking to access to financing.
And if we go back and look at the figures, for instance, we know that and culture is employs 60% of us, about 20-22% of GDP. But this part, 3-4% of actual lending goes into agribusinesses. I mean, of course, business leaders are worried about trends. And we all know that agriculture is the future for jobs and prosperity for us.
I think the key also is for us to be able to profile, the borrowers. The banks will not give money to any lender if they don't have information about them. They don't understand their risk and others. So it is very important that we bring in schemes that will be able to gather this information, so that at least the banks are also comfortable with the people that they are borrowing to. These are all initiatives that we are undertaking in Exchange, which is a structured system where we are working with the banks. We are looking at the rates that they are also coming up with and trying to de-risk and then encourage them to borrow.